If you've seen our past videos, we've shown you what it's like to be a first tech challenge team. But do you know what it's like to go to one of our meets? Well, today we'll show you what it's like to be a first tech challenge team going to a meet. Specifically, we'll be showing you our second meet. But before we go on, make sure to subscribe. Also, make sure to like, hit that notifications bell, and share with all your friends and family. You know, all that YouTube stuff. Also, check out our description for some cool links. First, there's our Instagram and our amazing website. And if you want to support us, which would be really appreciated, make sure to visit our Buy Me a Coffee and donate. Thanks, and now on to the video. Most of our team gets up really early, around 6 a.m., just to drive to the meet. So once we get there, we clean our table in the cafeteria. This is called the pit, and it's where the teams work on their robot and keep coming back to. We pick our table, and that's basically our station during the entire day. After picking our table, we help set up the field. This field is a practice field where teams can practice on while waiting for competition. But we don't actually have to help set up this field. We choose to. But why would we want to do that?
So, taking the initiative to help out the robotics community, including ourselves, is very important, and it's part of gracious professionalism, right? Because we're helping other teams. We're helping other teams while also helping ourselves. So it's a mutually beneficial situation.
While some of our teammates are helping set up the field, other parts of our team are doing another really important job. This is a picture of a robot when we just put it on the table. Can you tell what's missing from it? If you said the wheels, you would be right. You see, it's easier to transport a robot when the wheels aren't on. So, when we go to competition, the first thing we do, aside from setting up the field, is putting the wheels on.
Then we test the robot to make sure it works before the match. If something goes wrong, we hurry up and fix it as fast as possible and as good as possible. Sometimes the latter is not always an option.
So what went wrong that meet? Well...
Wait, oh, it snapped.
Yes.
Oh.
Our claw snapped. That's right, the claw that picks up the pixels and scores them on the board, the main way of scoring in this competition, snapped last minute. And we had to fix it. But wait a second, how did it snap?
So, well, I made a human error where I didn't recognize that opening the claw and raising the elevator would actually break it. There was no, safety in place to stop that from happening. And it was only a matter of time before someone, unfortunately me, pressed the two buttons on accident. Accident, I say. It was good that we had a spare. And I quickly took the spare and I rebuilt everything really fast.
Looking back on our recording, I found out that our mentor actually advised us to add this safety.
If y'all pick it up while it's open, you're not going to destroy the whole claw. Destroy the whole claw. Destroy the whole claw. But maybe in the code you can have something that, if open, then nobody can lift the arm up or anything.
However, with programming being so cramped, we didn't exactly add it in, creating this mistake. Now in the future, we'll make sure to always add safeties in when we're programming.
So at Meet 2, after our claw broke, we decided, how do we fix this? Do we fix any human error? Through code, And so we set, limits for the claw. If it's open, then it can't go, you can't raise the elevator. Just to make sure that it would not break.
To fix the claw last minute, we got one of our coaches to run to a hardware store to buy us a few materials. Here's our unpacking of the materials.
Guys, I'm Kayla, and today we're doing an unboxing. Yeah, we have lots of items here today. Today we have this super weld instant glue. Here's some not so satisfying cutting open stuff. Ooh. Let's not cut myself with the plastic. Ah. Oh.
But yeah, by working together as a team, we got our claw fixed in time to still have some extra time to work on our robot and practice with our robot. Since we didn't have a lot of time to program Autonomous before the meet, we usually had to program Autonomous during the meets. This was because we had so many engineering problems this season that we just didn't have any time. So the next thing we did was work on Autonomous during the meet.
One of the big problems with Autonomous is that we tested on an old field, but then when we test it on the field that's at the competition, it's never the same size. It's never there's always a couple centimeters off, and that will mess up the whole thing. So we really need to get into PID and stuff. But it's like an equation to calculate exactly what position the robot is at. But we were on a really tight time crunch for engineering, and Autonomous has to be so precise that it was tough for us.
So we kept on testing our Autonomous, but it just wasn't working. So we decided to not use Autonomous that meet.
We have the drivers meeting after that, and basically that's when the adult coaches, whoever's running the tournament, tries to explain rules so we don't get a bunch of penalties. After that, the schedule release, we have to get our robot inspected. And robot inspection is to make sure the robot's up to date for everything. It's sizing, make sure it doesn't have any sharp edges, no nuclear things on it. I don't know. No nukes, I guess. I don't know.
Then the matches begin, and the competition really starts to pick up pace. And it is really fast, honestly. You're in and out of competitions, you're in and out of matches. It's really fast, it's really crazy. So here's some footage of one of our matches. As you can see, our robot's on the bottom right, currently approaching the board. I am on the left, feeding in the pixels for our robot. See, our robot is now trying to pick up the pixels. I think it's having a really hard time trying to do it at the moment. But, it finally got one, and now it's moving back to the board. I'm also feeding pixels for the robot that's part of our alliance, because the robots are in teams, and I'm feeding it to the other teammate also. Our robot is picking up a pixel again. There's some traffic in the area, so our robot is trying to get out into the board to put a pixel on it. As you can see, we're putting more pixels on the board, and I believe we're currently winning. Now it is endgame, we're starting to shoot paper airplanes. We just shot a paper airplane, but it didn't quite go over the wall. So now we're trying to hang, and we hung, along with our teammate. So that's what it's like to compete in an FTC meet. If you want to see our next week's video, which is going to be about preparing for our big tournament, make sure to come back and check that out. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.
If you want to follow us on our robotics journey, like and subscribe, and click the notifications bell, and see you in our next video.